Golden State Warriors rookie Yaxel Lendborg is not shy about sharing his opinions. During a recent live stream, the 23-year-old forward made a statement that immediately caught the attention of basketball fans everywhere. He believes Stephen Curry is already one of the 3 best players in the history of the NBA, and he is absolutely certain that a championship ring this season would vault Curry all the way to the top spot. Hey, what's up, everyone? Before we jump into everything today, that like button right there is what decides if this video hits hundreds or thousands of people. 1 second is all it takes, but the impact on this channel is massive. Go ahead and hit that like button right now. Seriously, it's the simplest thing you can do, and honestly, the best way to back this content up, because every single like pushes us further. So hit it now. After Steph gets his ring this year, he finna be number 1. Don't worry, Lendborg said with full confidence during the broadcast. That kind of bold declaration from a player who has not yet played a single regular season game in the NBA is remarkable. But Lendborg is not just talk. His performance in the Las Vegas Summer League showed exactly why the Warriors were excited to select him with the 11th overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft. He was named both the Summer League Most Valuable Player and the Summer League Championship Game MVP, capping off a dominant stretch that gave Golden State fans genuine reasons to feel optimistic about the franchise's future. On the court, Lendborg displayed a rare combination of size, skill, and basketball intelligence. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches and weighing 250 pounds, he has the physical tools to compete at either forward position right away. What separates him from many big men his size is his ability to play and contribute away from the basket. During Summer League, he shot an impressive 45.9% from beyond the arc across 8 games, a number that immediately excited coaches and front office personnel who watched his performances closely. For a player with his frame, that level of perimeter shooting efficiency is genuinely uncommon and projects well for his role in head coach Steve Kerr's offensive system. Lendborg also showed advanced playmaking instincts, consistently making the right pass under pressure and demonstrating an ability to attack closeouts and finish at the rim against tougher opposition. His combination of passing vision, driving ability, and three-point shooting gives the Warriors a versatile weapon they can deploy in a variety of lineup configurations. The timing of his arrival could not be more important for Golden State. With Jimmy Butler and Moses Moody both sidelined indefinitely due to long-term knee injuries, the Warriors have a significant void at the forward position that needs to be addressed immediately. Lendborg and Gue Santos are expected to absorb the bulk of those wing minutes as the team waits for its veterans to return to health. The pressure on both young players is real, but Lendborg in particular has shown the mental composure and physical readiness to handle a larger role than most rookies face entering their debut season. The one legitimate concern surrounding Lendborg is his age. At 23 years old, he is older than the typical first-round pick. Historical trends show that older rookies have a mixed track record in the NBA. Some players who enter the league at that age fail to develop into meaningful contributors because the gap between their current form and their ceiling is smaller than it would be for a younger prospect. However, Lendborg's skill set is already refined enough that he does not need significant development time to contribute. He can help the Warriors win games right now, and that is exactly what the team needs given the injuries and roster constraints they are currently navigating. As for the GOAT conversation that Lendborg ignited, the debate is not simple. Most analysts place LeBron James and Michael Jordan at the very top of any all-time ranking, with a cluster of legends behind them. Curry has won 4 NBA championships, revolutionized the game with his shooting range and efficiency, and redefined what a point guard can mean to a franchise. The argument for placing him in that elite tier is strong, but so are the cases for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson, both of whom have more rings and played in different eras with different dynamics. What is universally agreed upon is that a 5th championship would dramatically strengthen Curry's resume. Winning a title at age 38 or 39 as the best player on his team, without the kind of dominant sidekick he had in earlier championship runs, would represent one of the most impressive individual achievements in modern basketball history. Whether that alone would be enough to call him the greatest ever is a conversation worth having. Lendborg has already started it. Now the Warriors have to go out and do the work on the court to make that argument even louder for the 2026-27 season and beyond. What makes Lendborg's statement particularly compelling is the perspective from which it comes. As a brand new member of the organization, barely weeks removed from being drafted, he is already thinking about what winning means for franchise's place in history. The Warriors have built their identity around championships, and a rookie who arrives already thinking about titles rather than personal statistics fits the culture Kerr and the front office have consistently built. Golden State fans should watch closely because the belief that a championship is within reach is already present in the locker room before a single game has been played. Warriors Governor Joe Lacob sat down for an extended conversation with journalist Tim Kawakami on the TK show this week, addressing the most pressing questions surrounding the franchise heading into the 2026-27 season. The wide-ranging interview covered the team's offseason decisions, Stephen Curry's contract extension timeline, and a lingering question of why LeBron James chose the Philadelphia 76ers over Golden State. One of the first topics Lacob tackled was a widespread criticism that the Warriors have had an inactive offseason. To many fans and analysts watching from the outside, the lack of high-profile additions has been a source of frustration. Lacob pushed back against that narrative directly. He argued that the players the team re-signed this summer were more valuable than any outside free agents they could have realistically acquired. He specifically pointed to two moves as examples of smart roster management. The first was a decision to bring back DeAnthony Melton on the taxpayer mid-level exception. Melton was a key contributor last season and is expected to be even more effective in 2026-27 as he continues to distance himself from the ACL injury that limited him in prior years. The second was a 2-year, $40 million contract extension given to Kristaps Porzingis. Lacob noted that because the team did not have to use any of its mid-level exception money to retain Porzingis, the decision to keep him under contract was straightforward. Losing either player to another team without a replacement of comparable quality would have left the Warriors in a worse position than they are now. That said, Lacob acknowledged there is a legitimate counterpoint. Several quality veterans ended up signing with other teams for the veteran minimum during this offseason window, and the Warriors missed out on all of them. That failure to add low-cost depth remains a valid critique, separate from the re-signing decisions Lacob defended. On the subject of trades, Lacob revealed that the Warriors made at least 2 separate trade offers this offseason that included multiple first-round draft picks in each package. He explained that in some cases the opposing organization simply wanted more than Golden State was willing to give, and in other situations rival teams presented packages that were judged to be comparable to the Warriors' offers but were still chosen over them. This information provides important context for fans who assumed the front office was not trying aggressively enough to improve the roster. The effort was there, according to Lacob. The results, however, were not. The question of urgency came up directly. Many Warriors supporters want the front office to operate with greater desperation given that Curry's window at the highest level is limited. Lacob said he understands that pressure and made clear that he views fielding a competitive team as a non-negotiable obligation to the fan base. At the same time, he stopped short of guaranteeing that the organization would make a significant trade at the deadline this coming season, leaving that decision open depending on how the team performs in the first half of the year. Perhaps the most significant moment of the TK show appearance came when Lacob addressed Curry's future with the franchise. The superstar guard becomes eligible to sign a contract extension on August 29th, and speculation about his long-term plans has been a constant topic in basketball media. Lacob did not go into specifics about what the extension talks will look like in terms of length or financial structure, but his message was unambiguous. He said he cannot imagine Curry playing anywhere else, that Curry is deeply happy with the organization and with his life in the Bay Area, and that there has never been even the slightest hint from Curry's side that he would want to explore other options. General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. had separately addressed a hypothetical scenario in which Curry might request a trade, and Lacob echoed that position by calling any such speculation completely unfounded. The Warriors intend to keep their franchise cornerstone, and Curry, by all accounts, has no intention of leaving. Finally, Lacob addressed the LeBron James situation. The Warriors were known to have interest in James during this past free agency period, and it was a significant story when he ultimately chose to sign with the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year deal at the veteran minimum. Lacob admitted he does not fully understand why James made that choice. He He acknowledged that former Warriors general manager Bob Myers, now a member of the 76ers front office, played a meaningful role in convincing James to join Philadelphia. The sting of losing that pursuit to a former colleague was evident, even as Lacob maintained a measured tone in public. The bottom line from Lacob's TK show appearance is that the Warriors believe they are in a better position than the off-season narrative suggests. They re-signed their core contributors. They made genuine attempts to improve through trades, and their franchise player has no desire to leave. Whether that combination is enough to compete for a championship in 2026 to 27 remains to be seen, but the organization's message is clear. The window with Stephen Curry is not closed, and they are not ready to give up on winning now. The Golden State Warriors are zeroing in on 2 veteran free agents as they work to complete their 2026 to 27 roster. According to a report from Mark Stein of the Stein Line, point guard Brandon Williams and forward George Nyong are both drawing genuine interest in the franchise, and that interest has remained consistent over recent weeks. The Warriors currently have 2 standard contract roster spots available, and general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. confirmed this week that he plans to fill both of them before the season begins rather than leaving one open as roster flexibility the way he did for much of last season. The 2 players being pursued address 2 very different needs to the team. Williams would bring the kind of dynamic guard play that Golden State currently lacks, while Nyong would add 3-point shooting and veteran experience to the wing rotation. Brandon Williams is 26 years old and remains unsigned this late in the offseason primarily because of one number that concerns teams around the league. His career 3-point shooting percentage sits at 28%. In an era where 3-point efficiency is among the most valued skills a guard can possess, that figure makes teams hesitant to commit a roster spot to him. However, when you look beyond the perimeter shooting limitations, Williams presents a genuinely compelling profile. Over the past 2 seasons, he has converted 55.8% of his 2-point attempts, a number that reflects consistent finishing at the rim and the ability to create and complete plays inside the arc. He is quick, his ball handling is reliable under pressure, and he possesses a kind of drive and finish ability that allows him to attack the paint against NBA-level defenders and convert with regularity. For the Warriors, that combination of skills fills a specific gap. The current Golden State roster is short on guards who can reliably get into the paint off the dribble, create their own opportunities, and manufacture points without needing the perimeter shot to fall. Williams brings exactly that. His quickness and aggressiveness at the rim would add a different dimension to a team that can already space the floor with shooters like D'Anthony Melton, Kristaps Porzingis, and Stephen Curry himself. At only 26 years old, Williams also projects to stay healthy for a full season, which is a valuable trait given that Golden State is currently dealing with significant injury concerns at other roster spots. The Warriors need players who can be counted on to be available night after night, and Williams fits that profile. George Nyong is a different kind of addition. The veteran forward has built a reputation across his NBA career as a reliable 3-point shooter and a physical presence who can make life difficult for opposing big men. His career shooting percentage from beyond the arc is 39.9%, which gives him instant credibility as a spacing option off the bench. Defensively, Nyong is best suited guarding power forwards, a position he has matched up against effectively throughout his career. The challenge with fitting Nyong into this particular Golden State roster is a real one. The Warriors already have Draymond Green, Yaxel Lendborg, and Gue Santos occupying roles that overlap significantly with what Nyong provides on the defensive end. Finding minutes for all of them when the team is healthy will require creativity from Steve Kerr in terms of lineup construction and rotation management. When Nyong is asked to guard smaller, quicker wings rather than traditional power forwards, his defensive limitations tend to become exposed, which could create matchup problems in specific situations. There's also the health question to consider. Nyong was completely absent from NBA action during the entire 2025-26 season due to severe foot injury. That kind of extended absence at his age raises legitimate durability concerns that any team considering him must weigh carefully. The good news is that prior to that lost season, Nyong had been among the more durable players in the league. From the 2020-21 season through 2024-25, he missed just 13 total games across a 5-year stretch, demonstrating a strong track record of availability when healthy. If Nyong has fully recovered from the foot injury, He represents solid value at the veteran minimum for a team like the Warriors, who can absorb his defensive limitations by surrounding him with switchable teammates. The combination of Williams and Nyong, if both eventually sign with Golden State, would address the team's most pressing roster needs heading into training camp. Williams provides a ball-handling, paint-scoring, and youth that the backcourt rotation is missing. Nyong provides veteran floor spacing and physical forward depth that becomes more important once the playoffs arrive. Together, they would give Dunleavy two legitimate contributors at the league minimum, the most efficient use of remaining salary space. The Warriors front office has faced criticism this offseason for failing to add outside players, and signing both Williams and Nyong would demonstrate that the team is still committed to surrounding Stephen Curry with the best possible supporting cast within its current financial constraints. Training camp is approaching, and the clock is ticking on these final roster decisions.